found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it because it's inevitable. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed. I prayed. And I prayed. But I continued to fail and fail and fail. But it didn't matter because you know what? There's an old saying. You hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway.
Let's go, let's go. Good morning, familiar. Rise and shine, rise and grind. Another beautiful, blessed, and grateful day. I'm excited to be on here with you guys. As you can see, today's topic is going to be failing forward, right? That's right. I want you guys to get in the habit. I want you to get in the mindset of everything that happens to your life. Nothing is a loss. Everything is a lesson. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and start off the day with a little bit of gratitude, right? Go ahead and drop down. What are you grateful for today? Grateful for God, grateful to be healthy, grateful to be alive, grateful for the family, grateful for the growth, grateful to be able to even step outside and experience the sun rays on the skin today. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it, right? My topic for you guys today is going to be failing forward, right? There's two ways that you can actually see life and go through your experiences. You can either fail backwards or you can fail forwards, right? At the end of the day, there's things that you've done in your life that at one point in time, you might not have known how to do it, right? All of you can ride a bike. I can guarantee you the first couple times that you rode the bike, you probably didn't know how to do it. You probably fell in the bushes a couple times, but you were able to keep going. And what was the difference? You failed forward, and eventually you were able to go ahead and ride the bike. So today, this is my topic for you. So I want you to go ahead and get your piece of paper, and I want you to split that thing in half, right? I've got two different sides for you, failing backwards versus failing forwards. And if you can understand this, I believe this is crucial to anybody's success, because as I started to go through the journey of entrepreneurship, when I learned this switch, everything started to change. Okay, let's start with failing backwards. I'm going to give you 7 bullet points. Number 1, blaming others. Okay, it's so easy to blame others when you start growing, when you start leveling up. But here's what you'll notice. Okay, excuses only sound best to those that actually make the excuses. So I got tired of blaming my father, blaming my grandparents, blaming my girlfriend, blaming the closest people around me 5 years ago when I first got started into entrepreneurship. I was living out of my car, $30K in debt, and I was blaming God. Why did he take my sister away at 27 years old? You know, at the time, you're not always going to be able to make sense of the things that are going down in your life. But eventually, you see, looking backwards, you can connect the dots. But looking forwards, it's hard to see it, why it's happening to you. But life is happening for you and not to you. So that's the first thing. You've got to stop blaming others for the reason why you don't have success, why you're not winning in your trading account, why you're not growing and hitting ranks. You got to ask yourself, am I actually growing? Am I plugging in? Am I taking notes? Am I actually growing myself? Okay, so and I want you to pay attention, okay? When you blame somebody, if I point the finger at you, here's what's really happening. I'm pointing at you, but guess how many fingers are pointing back at me? 3. So before you point the finger at somebody else, why don't you check the 3 fingers that are pointing back at you first? And a lot of the times you'll see that it's not other people that is the issue, it's us. Okay, so we need to look inside. Number 2 is going to be repeating the same mistakes. That's why they say, insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over again. Well, the same thing goes with success. So if you feel like, there's an area of your life where you keep repeating the same mistakes and you're wondering why you're not leveling up, something needs to change. We need to go ahead and do something different. All right. Number 3, expecting never to fail. Expecting never to fail. I'm here to tell you that on your entrepreneurship journey, you're going to fail. You're going to lose money. You're going to have people that don't believe in you. You're going to have disbelief. You're going to have hate on the other side of the fence. This is a part of your journey. But if you can understand this, this is crucial. Because every time that I went out and I failed, at the beginning, it used to get me upset. But when I started to grow, I realized that this was a point that I can go ahead and address and evaluate what did I do wrong and how can I go ahead and get better. You see, when you first go speak, when you speak in front of 1, 2, 5, 10 people, you might stutter, you might forget what you're going to say, but guess what happens the next time that you go out and do it? You have a little bit more confidence. You have a little bit more experience. That's why if you look at the word time, T-I-M-E, things I must experience, okay? There's things you must experience first before you get to new levels. It takes a little bit of time. Number 5, accepting tradition blindly, okay? Accepting tradition blindly. You see, in school, we all got in trouble for failing, right? Your parents would yell at you. The teachers might even kick you out and put you into a lower grade class. Well, you see, in life, failing is a requirement for success. But the difference is being able to learn from it and make a difference the next time you go out and do the same action. Next, thinking I am a failure, okay? When you go out and something happens in your life, something happens in your business, something happens in your relationships, this doesn't make you a failure. Just because you're 25, you're 30 years old, and you don't think that you're at the lifestyle that you wish to be at. Your bank account isn't as high as you envision it to be. That doesn't make you a failure. In fact, if you look at some of the greatest that have ever existed, Popeyes, J.K. Rowling, KFC, a lot of these industries, Amazon, some of them were created when they were past 30 years old. So I'm not really worried about where you're at. I'm not worried about where you've been. I'm focused on where it is that you're going. All right. So that's failing backwards. Now let's get on the other side. Now let me show you the right perception, how to really perceive success. failing forward. Here's a big difference. Number one, you see, when somebody fails backward, they blame others. That was number one, right? When you fail forward, you see you take responsibility. Everything that that happens in my life, everything that happens in my business, I'm able to take responsibility. Why? Because I'm in control of what I can control. I can control my work ethic. I can control my gratitude. I can control how much I go ahead and put in. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So you've got to be able to take responsibility of your life. Number two, learning from each mistake. You see, some of you, when you go out and you lose a trade, you get upset, you complain, you're hitting me up like, yo, D, I just lost $20. How many of you guys have lost a trade in the past week? Drop some twos down below, okay? Here's what you need to know about trading and investing. Investing, it has potential risks, so does trading. So that means you potentially have the risk to lose money, but the whole goal of trading is to be able to risk less than your bigger reward. So at the end of the day, if I lose 5 trades and I lose $40, I win the next 5 and I make 100, I just made $60. But what was the difference? I'm able to learn from my mistakes and not just consider myself a failure and go back to the books and take notes, okay? So every loss is not a loss. It's a lesson if you're able to go back and learn from what it is that you did. Number 3, knowing failure is a part of the process. All right. You're not going to be the best trader at the beginning. You're not going to know how to talk to people at the beginning. You're definitely not going to know how to make your best video at the beginning, but nothing ever gets easier. You just get better. Okay. 4, PMAs. How many of you guys have ever heard of a PMA? And I'm not talking about the women's time of the month. PMA is a positive mental attitude. All right. Whatever it is that you're doing, you've got to be able to move with a positive mindset. Anything that I was doing, I understood that this is something I can use to grow from. Okay. So every situation in your life, another thing I want you to think about, if it's not going to matter in 5 months, stop spending more than 5 minutes thinking about it. If you get a flat tire, the old me used to get so upset about that. But you know what I realize now? That could have saved me from getting in a car crash 2 miles down the road. So learn to look at things different. Everything that happens to you in your life happens to you for a reason. It's being able to see the silver lining in it, okay? Next, challenging outdated assumptions. Challenging outdated assumptions. You see, 5 years ago, when I got into the trading industry, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just getting started, just like a lot of you. And I was having $20, $30 days, and everybody was making fun of me. They're like, D, why are you wasting your time for $20, $30? And you know what they didn't realize? The only difference between me and my mentors was just time. They've been doing it a little bit longer than me. So even the thought process, if I could make even $20 in an hour pressing a button on my phone, somebody had to just go do hard labor to go make that money. So what people don't understand is now is the day and age of being able to work smarter and not just harder. So when people tell you this isn't going to work, you're wasting your time, the metaverse is just a video game, you need to be able to challenge outdated assumptions. The days of just working hard is over. Why is it somebody that can work 2 hours a day go out earn somebody that works 16-hour days in construction? Why is that? Because they've challenged outdated assumptions. You can make a 6-figure, 7-figure income right from the screen, right from your phone. It's being able to understand and believe that now, okay? Next, persevering. This is my last slide for failing forward, right? Persevering. I'm 5 years in the industry, right? People see the shine, they see the penthouse, they see the travel, they see the house, but what they don't see is they don't see the grind. They don't see everything that it took to get to this level. They don't see the late nights, the early mornings, the people quitting my business, the negative belief that was left, right, up, down, everywhere around me, but I still had to stay strong. I still had to keep my feet planted. So at the end of the day, a vision that's not trusted, a vision that's not tested cannot be truly trusted. So if you're getting tested right now, that means it's worth it. Nothing easy is worth having. That's why my father always said, I've never met a strong man with an easy pass. So if you're going through it right now, every battle that you're going through is given to you. God gives his strongest battles to his toughest soldiers. So learn to fail forward. So that's my training for you guys today. I'm telling you right now, if you can learn to apply this, you're going to be able to level up and challenge yourself on the things that you used to consider difficult, because you understand on the other side of fear is greatness, right? So go out, go be great, go let the world see it because they're waiting to see what it is that you have inside. So if nobody told you today, I believe in you, you're powerful, you're a leader, you're unstoppable. Go out and make it happen. It's your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. You can be, do, or have whatever it is that you can see in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. I will see you guys at the top because the whole squad is coming together. Let's get to work.